In this part 1, we will address how the UI and UX design could be complemented by the AI. Okay. So, what we are saying is, we are not saying UI or UX designers are not required. But what we can say is, if you are at the ideation stage or the quick prototyping stage, you can very well use the UI at a MVP level, use the AI and build the screens for discussions, for brainstorming, or the data driven design or event driven design. So that's the idea which we are going to put it out. So to show it as a live example or a living example through the entire series, I am picking up a open source prompt library. Okay. So what I intend to develop is an open source prompt library that will that anybody can download, install in their ecosystem, and then configure the Mongo database or whatever you want. And once you configure the database, bingo, your prompt library is available for you. So within your organization, you should be able to share prompts within the teams, share the prompts on the examples, so that you don't re-engineer the same prompt building exercise with a large amount of teams or large number of teams. Right now, what I see from various applications or various teams trying to use the AI or AI generated teams are, their prompt engineering or prompt methodology is completely different across the teams, and everybody has to be trained on what is the prompt methodology and all other things. So there is no homogeneity even across a small division or a large division or in a bigger divisions, where you want to generate the source code consistently through AI. There are other ways, there are other alternatives by, you say Copilot or other guys saying organization specific things, but the series is kept at startups or small businesses, or like a consulting kind of a firms, where you don't have that kind of a leverage. But even for the very startup innovation teams of large organizations or software organizations as well. So the idea is to have a simple open source library where you can just install and run it as a Docker, and then you go ahead and let the people use it and have a single prompt repository that is very very personal to you. So you put out prompts that works for you, you can also refine the prompt as and when it goes, not depending on the people or people's knowledge. So that's the idea around. So we want to build this particular application in this part 1 of the series. So the part 1 of the series, I am using Google NanoBanana to generate the wireframes or the user interfaces there, and that is where we are trying to do. So let's see, in this particular video we will develop UI or develop the UI screens using the Google Nano Banana. So what I have done here is, I have used this prompt template to generate a various kind of a visual layouts to see what suits to me. So basically, I want to use a prompt, library kind of a thing. So I have a idea of a business function, but I don't know what which one looks better, which one looks suits my inspiration. So what I do is, there are 3 or 4 kind of a styles or templates. Okay, so what I go ahead, I use this particular template. You can also record it, okay, or see it, and generate the various type line. So what I have asked, I asked Google Nano Banana to generate me 3 distinct UI concepts. So here what I am saying, I want to know, I have given 3 different concepts and give me the top level application. So I gave an application, my idea, and said, okay, this is my idea. Generate me 3 or 4 styles. So this is where I'm starting. So the idea is getting ideated in the brain, and then it started into a form, simple email kind of a prompt. and then we go ahead and ask the generation. So this particular video uses Google Nano Banana. You can use any other model as well, whatever your flavor is, but I am doing this, these prompts are mostly model independent, but I am doing this with this, and we want to compare what is the output. So let's see what is the output as such. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what is the output now. So the it has given me three styles. Okay, so I basically asked for three styles. One, I wanted a minimalistic and clean style. Next is data rich and professional. Third one is playful and gamified styles. So the first output style is like this. So it's a minimalistic UI design. It gave me the prompt and gave me the prompt and then prompt categories and all those things. See, there are four different prompt categories: abstract, architecture, and prompts. So I liked this design because this is also good in terms if you want to specify a trivial image prompt technique. Okay, so but what I feel is for a UI, it will be a very good if I am just basing the library to be image generation, but may not be for a lot of other things. So I thought, let's explore the other one. And initially it also gave me the annotation. So what is the concept and concept related annotation around? So you can read this. Okay, so that is how it has generated. So for a guy who is starting out of the garage, or if you are a guy who just want to conceptualize your design, okay, so not really to go ahead and put it out, this is basically a very good tool. Do you agree with it? Let's see the next, let's see the next option there, or next output. And next output is like this. I have really liked this, like if you see, uh, if you see, I have liked this because it has got almost all the things which I would need. So I want to iterate and make this much better. Although if you see the screen and all, it is looking like like only a image generation prompt, but if you see on the left side, it has given the categories, it has given the styles, it can concept arts, you have got sort by and all. So this is not exactly what I really want, but still this has given me all the things which I need it for the enterprise. So ideally what I want to do is I want to build a prompt library where there is a prompt library for obviously image generation, and then icon generation, be it svg png files, and then my branding generation, including the branding rules and all. So and prompt refinery, and also my kind of a applications using React or Angular or Python prompts, or maybe my own template of how my backend should be. It could also mean that I go ahead and create the DevOps pipelines as well from my prompt library. So the prompt library may have many categories within that. So the user should be doing this. So the next idea is I don't want to put a lot of communication and security infrastructure around, because these are prompts. Okay, so communication airbags are not envisaged as a part of this particular application. So I just gave it a second one. So I like this design, so I think I will choose this in the this kind of a pattern in the next phases as well, but this is only for the initial starter. Then you can see the annotation that is getting generated or that got generated with this, and then we will go ahead with the third kind of a thing. This looks really funky and gamified, but it did not suit my kind of a aspirations. So it could be very good for gaming, it could be very good for mobile applications, it could be very good if you are addressing that kind of a people. But somehow I thought this is not the way which I want to go ahead. Seeing this looks rich and everything, but that's not exactly what I am looking at this point of time. I want to build a simple prompt library to be used by anyone. Just go ahead, install it, and that becomes your de facto prompt library. So that's what is the ask. So I have taken off these three things. I put out these three concepts. Now, if you see, if somebody is presenting this way in these three manners to a prospective, sponsor, or to a prospective investor, you can think how your age old systems have already got disrupted. So your age old systems, last decade or last 2 decades, I would say, we were working to get to this point. We used to use PPTs, we used to use architectural diagrams, we used to use workflows, we used to use persona flows. But now, what they show, what you show, you can actually sell the product, saying that, look, you are going to see the product like this. There is a saying in Hindi, jo dikega wo bikega. So I think AI has disrupted the way we communicate visually using many ways. So UX designers, take a note of it. AI has disrupted your way of thinking. No more UI, user interviews, a long due process of a user interviews. That may still be there, but maybe for a very limited of applications, not for the starting applications, not for the MVP applications. I think we are going towards VUCA world, even in the UI UX arena. So that's what we could do. So now you can ask me, okay, you are designing a basic templates. What about the wireframes? I want to communicate a new features. I want to communicate what I have a product already. I want to just design a new page or add a new product. So in the section 2, let's see of this video, let's see how that could work. So in this section 2, what we do is we will see what are the prompts for the wireframing with NanoBanana. Let's go ahead and see. Where I have used is, I wanted to use a low fidelity wireframe, platform, purpose, use, target user. You have a template here. You should say, you can put the constraints on the screen, what image sections you need, what kind of a details you need, and all. So let us suppose, if I am going to do, I already have a product, let us suppose, and I want to add a new screen. So I give this particular one, and we build a wireframe for a page. Initially, I was picking up a design concept of the UX, but now we are picking up a direct page within the set product. So I'm actually giving the search results concept here. You could see what is the prompt which I am actually using, and let us see what is the actual output. You could see this basically. Okay, so it has given me a wireframe. It's a low fidelity wireframe to put out my communication, where it is, where the things there, what are the actions, how it should look like, what exactly it might look like, what are the cards, what are the components. This is the game changer, I would say, because we have a clear idea of communicating with the teams, with maybe the large teams, and there is a very little effort of putting out things. So when you iterate it, the way we communicate in the SDLC becomes very effective, and your SDLC efficiencies will also increase. So that is where AI is disrupting guys. I think this is the way we have to opt here going forward, and it will obviously bringing in a lot of efficiency within our within our ecosystem. So of course, I will show you the full prompts and full product wireframes later. In the subsequent things, you will also see the product demo as well. But here I have also added filters for the specific models, because we know, at least I know, having used multiple types of models, I know not all models can be prompted alike. So there is a subtle prompt enhancement you have to do if you are changing the model. So you are supposed to do that, and let us see what those are in a different video. But so that's why you have a filters, you have prompts, and maybe projects as well. So this is how you can generate a simple wireframe for the enhancement that is already required. So what we did develop a concept, UI concept. Out of 3 or 4 concepts, we evaluated the concept. Then we built all the screens using the wireframes at a functional level. And this is what is the game changer. You don't need a UX guy to understand these and put it out, and you don't need to communicate. So it's the business owner or a product owner who can come up with the, or a business analyst, I would say, who can come up with a detailed requirements with the help of AI. That is where it is already driving you a lot of enhancement when it comes to efficiencies. Guys, take a note of it, because this methodology of SDLC is going to change the fundamental way of working for all of us. Now let us go and see what is there for a developer. Okay, so I am a developer, so I want to now develop a single component. Yes, I agree that you can put out a lot of visuals things. You may change the visual paradigms, or you can change the UX concepts. I also agree that you can wireframe for new features. But my day to day is changing one small component or adding a small components. What is there for the developers, what is there for a UX developer or a UI developer, where you want to design one specific component or a very small feature. So this is the third section where you can go ahead and use this, okay, and figure out how to do a component design. So what I gave is basically again coming from the same application, and I'm going to build this application for all of you. And this is the prompt I have given. I want to display a prompt. Now that we saw the hierarchical structure of a prompt, I want a details page of the prompt, and I want basically a preview that is already there. And I also want to see the history of the prompt which was generated. So basically, if you see the enterprise way of managing the prompt, so the prompt itself may go through multiple refinements or may have a different flavor. So what I want to do is, okay, I create a virtual ecosystem where the prompt could be tried instantly and then copied onto your source code or whatever ecosystem. But that's what I want to do. So there will be a prompt, there will be example output, and all these things. When I gave it, see the way it has created. I have also applied, okay, various constraints here, and said, okay, can you do this? And that's exactly what it has done. So I haven't tried with video prompting, because I really didn't try any video prompting in my experimentations. I have done a lot of image prompting. You all have seen in many videos. I have done a lot of code promptings. I have done a lot of vibe coding as well. But this is the second time I am showing to build a complete product screen by screen. Okay, so this is how you can even build a single component. So if you see, or if you observe the entire video here, this is how it is disrupting for the UI and UX designers. So the product managers or a business analyst, nobody is no more going to depend on you for giving the wireframes. Okay, so a lot of efficiency you can bring. Yes, it may not be very very healthy for starters in the UX, but the paradigms of changes are already there. We are at the dawn of the disrupting change. So let's not be a wire telephone operator when there is already a mobile phone just around the corner. So let's see and let's try to embrace the new ways of working. So let us see what is the annotation it has generated. So in addition to the development, or in addition to the screen, it has also annotated the components whatever are required. Okay, so check it and let's see what is the annotations it has generated. Did you see? So in addition to generation, it also does the annotation so that you will be able to use it to document your design. Now that we have, basically tried to understand how the UX or UI UX guys can, leverage, or the product managers can leverage AI for UI UX related communications. We will also see what are the best practices when you are trying these kind of things for the wireframe. Okay, whenever you are using the UI, be very descriptive and very specific. So here is the catch case. So if you don't understand the UI UX world, you will not be able to get the right productivity from the AI despite it is given to you. It is just like a large monkey before a advanced car. No? You have to know how to drive the car. If the monkey doesn't know how to drive the car, whatever good car it could be, it won't be useful. So the world is not just changing for the UX designers or the UI designers. The world is changing for the guys who is trying to innovate as well. So you have to have the basic knowledge and the paradigms and the terms which are used for generating the UX design. So if you are already aware of it, then it is good. But if you are not, just having a AI is not going to solve your problem because you don't know the UX world. So the change on the UI UX UI guys is like their work, a lot of it or the bulk of it is being done by AI, and the change on the consumer side is you are supposed to know and prompt what exactly you want. So this is the best practice and this is the requirement. And second thing is use natural language. Okay, properly frame your prompts, just like you are explaining a 5-year-old kid or a 7-year-old kid who understand the world, but you have to give the instructions in detail so that they won't, don't expect that they will read your mind. Okay, so they put out the details you in the new natural language and more detail. So here comes the communication skills very much emphasized. So you should be able to do a written communications very well to get the better output from the AI. So focus on your communication skills, guys, whoever wants to build the products. And then write out the details, figure out what is the subjects, what are the actions, what are the environments, and all the things from the visual context. So maybe you may be able to change and you may come up with completely, like radical ideas or groundbreaking ideas as well. But specifying the details will get your output more and more good quality. And then don't expect the AI to give you perfect solution on the iteration one. Okay, be ready to iterate till you get the refined mechanism. So that is where the change is there, and you don't need a long cycle of change just to get through the iteration. No holidays or no synchronization cycles, nothing. So whenever you find time, You can go ahead, put it out, refine. The availability changes, odd timings and all. So this is already disrupting your ecosystem or disrupting your way of life. And it has been a very, very good communication when you communicate with this kind of a visual stories. Okay. Next, always, to get the output right, putting out the right constraints is also very, very important. Put out what are you actually expecting. Are you expecting responsive design? Are you expecting mobiles? Are you expecting desktops? Put out all those things to get the right targeted results. Even then you may not get exactly as you need, just like the humans give you. The only change with a human partner and the AI partner is human partner will advise you if you are going in the wrong path. They will reason with you, they will fight with you, but AI won't do it. So that is where human UX designers will add a lot of value when it comes to the doing. But for a MVP or a startup kind of a scenario, or for a small thing, that may not be the case. So like, the disruption is real. So let's check it out. And then these are the overall good things. And there are very specific advanced prompt elements also most of the models supply. So you can actually give specific design principles. If you have tailwinds.css or certain design principles, or if you want a what do you say, bootstrap kind of a design, use bootstrap for this. Or you can say use material design only kind of a constraint. Or you can actually give what kind of a behavior you need. You can also say what is the UI mood. Or you can even say give me 4 or 5 different colors for my color schema. So you can actually get it much quick, much better, and do it out for the to begin with. So more or less, whether or not this will be useful to disrupt the entire UI life cycle, but I would say this is the new way that is disrupting the communications. So the way we design things, the way we design software, the way do we design features is going through the disruption. So please see how do you embrace those cycles. So that's all for today, guys. So what we will do is I will put out the entire design in the repo. And then in the next part 2, we will see how do we generate a React code for the user interface using the image wireframes and AI tools with the generated images with the prompts. So what I will also want to demonstrate in that video is, look, I have got the entire visualized the entire product, and then I turn them into a wireframes or the UI mockups. Now I generate the bare bones code from the mockups. So that's exactly what I want to demonstrate. Wait for part 2, because part 1 is we have done a lot of things. I'm just reviewing the screen by screen, and we will do part 2. I will also give you what are the tools setup. This time the tools most probably is either CodeGemma with a open source tool on a Linux platform, not any copilot. Okay, so I want to give a open web UI hosted on a Llama, and CodeGemma or Code Llama, I haven't yet figured out. We'll do that in that particular part. I'll show you how you generate a image wireframe, you feed that image wireframe and generate React components to actually do the development there. So development and the screens. Okay, so that is coming in the part 2. I hope you will wait for that. I hope you liked this particular video. Please, if there are any UX designer or a UI designer looking at it, please do comment and tell your opinions. We don't want to say something is happening to you, but this is what we are able to see. You can add your thoughts to this video, so that we will see, experiment and see what is the change which we are looking at. Thank you guys, that's all for today. As usual, follow Medhoyantra. We will simplify AI for you and explain you the all the happenings in the AI. Thank you guys.